clear skies. Let's give it up for good things coming together, like bundling your auto and other policies together with an Allstate agent, which can save you time and keep you better protected. Let's give it up for good.
To receive your comparative insurance quote, contact the McDonald Agency at 622-2333.
Located next door to Silver Spring State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is the place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs.
Proud sponsor of College of Central Florida basketball on WOCA The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line and a new spoiler and a new truck.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
The tech experience of the future is here at the newly relocated Ocala Verizon Smart Store. Join us on Saturday, February 28th from noon to 2 p.m. and get your hands on the latest smart devices. Right now, get 2 lines with 6 gigabytes of data for $100 monthly access for smartphones. All on the more everything plan with Verizon Edge. So don't miss the grand opening of the newly relocated Ocala Verizon Smart Store next to Chick-fil-A. Subject to customer and Edge agreements and credit approval. Coverage details at VerizonWireless.com.
Hello, I'm Marie Osmond, co-founder of Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, inviting you to visit your local IHOP restaurant on March 3rd for the 10th annual National Pancake Day. Come in for a free short stack of buttermilk pancakes and join IHOP in supporting your Children's Miracle Network Hospital with a donation. So please join us. You know, these just might be the most important pancakes that you eat all year.
Join us on Saturday, March 7, 2015 for the second annual Habitat Strawberries Festival at the McPherson Government Complex. The goal of this festival is not only to provide a great time for families in Ocala, but to also raise funds to build a home for our family and our community and support Habitat for Humanity's mission to strengthen communities, build hope, and provide dignified housing solutions. Remember, Saturday, March 7, 2015 for the second annual Habitat Strawberries Festival at the McPherson Government Complex, which starts at 7 a.m. with breakfast.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 840-0750. That's 840-0750.
Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
Real estate is the largest and most personal investment that any of us will ever make. Be sure to tune in Tuesdays at 10 a.m. when Bob Kennedy, owner of Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty, will be answering your questions and discussing real estate. So remember, that's Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Call 622-9622 with your questions. It pays to be an informed buyer or seller. This is news you can use from Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty and your friends here at WOCA.
Ocala, this is Kelly Hart, executive editor of Ocala Magazine. Did you know last year Ocala Magazine won more awards in excellence than any other publication in Florida? And this year, Ocala Magazine was named Best Consumer Magazine in the state. Now you can join me every Friday at 10 a.m. on Ocala Magazine Radio, where we bring the pages of Ocala Magazine to life, right here on The Source. Ocala Magazine thanks you for making us number one. And remember, there is only one Ocala Magazine.
All right,
right, 22 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Thursday morning. We had a guest scheduled, and she hasn't called in. So if you were wondering why there were so many commercials, that's why. we were waiting for her to call in, and once we wait so long, we just say, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
If she calls in, we'll of course talk to her. She is Diane Zimberoff. She's a licensed marriage family therapist, and maybe she's in the middle of some of that snowy weather. Maybe that's what the problem is. She was going to talk to us about overcoming shock, and it's as I read through the material, I mean, you can think of times in your life when you got news on the phone, or maybe somebody came to your door. It's the thing you dread, you fear, and anyway, so it affects us. And what's interesting, and this is the question I have for her, is it affects us physiologically. That's physical, right?
Yes.
So
yep.
I want to find out exactly what that means. And so hopefully she'll call in. We'll be able to ask her that question.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, I have this story that I thought I would share with you. You remember I don't know how long ago this was, we had this story about the fisherman that was charged with throwing undersized fish overboard.
Oh, yeah, I remember that story.
Supposedly to skirt being charged with having illegal fish. Well, the U.S. Supreme Court yesterday decided, they voted 5-4 to overturn his conviction. So I thought this is an interesting story, and there's actually a political slant to this as well.
Oh, okay.
After his case ambled its way to the United States Supreme Court last November, the fisherman that we're talking about is 62-year-old John Yates. He says he tried to push the matter out of his mind. Fisherman Yates from Holmes Beach, Florida, continued with his daily life, but he remained hopeful that the nation's highest court would rule in his favor. Can you close that door? It's hard for me to think. Is there any way we can close that door? No. Guess the door's open. Anyway, so yesterday the Supreme Court voted 5-4 to overturn the conviction of the former Cortez fisherman charged with disposing of undersized fish after the Florida Wildlife Commission officials instructed him otherwise. Yates, who was then a captain of a boat called the Miss Katy, and 2 crew members were longline fishing for grouper in August of 2007 here in the Gulf of Mexico. And then an officer with the the Florida Wildlife Commission boarded the vessel and started measuring the grouper they had caught, which have to be a minimum of 20 inches long. There were 3,000 pounds of fish on board. 72 of those 3,000 pounds of fish were below the minimum length. That according to a statement recorded by the Florida Wildlife Commission officer. He instructed the fisherman, Mr. Yates, to hold on to the undersized fish. There were 72 of them. But when the officer returned 4 days later, he only counted 69 fish that were undersized. Yates told the news reporters in November that he wasn't sure how the number of undersized fish went from 72 to 69. You would think that having some undersized fish would have been enough.
Yeah.
But there was some missing. 69, 79. So three fish?
Well, maybe the bigger ones came alive and ate the little ones.
Who knows? But anyway, federal prosecutors after that charged him under the Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002. Now, this is where it begins to become political. Mm-hmm. I know you were out there. Did you understand where we went with this?
Yes, I did. Okay. I was listening.
Anyway, that act of 2002 was enacted as a reaction to several financial crimes,
yeah,
including the Enron accounting scandal, when documents were shredded to conceal wrongdoing.
There you go.
So because you're no longer allowed to dispose of evidence, this guy with the fish, but he still had, keep in mind, 69 fish that were still undersized. So if he was going to throw any of them overboard, why wouldn't he throw all of them?
Right.
He had 4 days to do it. Okay. One of the law's provisions prohibits destruction of any record, document, or tangible object. That's a quote from the law itself. That will end up in obstructing an investigation. Mm-hmm. A federal jury convicted Yates of disposing the undersized fish and destroying the fish in order to obstruct a federal investigation.
Okay.
He went to jail for doing that. He served 30 days in jail. He said he was blackballed from the fishing industry as a result. So the people, he was, part of that profession, and they said, you know what, you are no good. We don't want you around us. Mm-hmm. After the ruling, Yates sat inside his home in Cortez, where he has a furnishing store called Off the Hook. He runs the store with his wife, Sandy.
Clever name.
Yeah. Especially considering what he was going through, right?
Yeah.
His business phone had been ringing all day with calls from eager reporters. Yates didn't mind because the gloomy weather didn't permit him to do his usual furniture painting outside. For him, it was a good day to talk.
Oh, okay.
He said, I feel pretty good that it's over with, but it hasn't really sunk in. I lost a lot of wages since I haven't been able to fish. So he's been doing furniture. Oh. Yates said the conviction was a good thing, too. He said it's going to help a lot of people along the way, especially the fishing world, because I don't think they're going to have to deal with the same thing that I did. Sandy Yates, his wife, who was at the Supreme Court last fall when the case was argued, said she was happy with the news that his conviction was overturned.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank goodness.
I would love to have had a 9-0 vote, but 5-4 works. She says, I'm content with that. It's been a long time coming, there's no doubt. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg wrote in the main opinion that fish did not constitute a tangible object under the Sarbanes-Oxley Act. Mm-hmm. Although the justices were basically split, 5 justices agreed that a law written to protect investors by banning the destruction of corporate evidence did not apply to Yates's actions.
Oh.
Well, of course.
Oh, sure.
Especially when he shouldn't have been convicted in the first place. He still had 69 fish.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, he wasn't in trouble for having the illegal fish. He was in trouble for destroying the evidence.
Yeah, that was the
But the evidence was
thing.
still there. The statement from Ginsburg says, a fish is no doubt an object that is tangible. Fish can be seen, caught, and handled, and a catch, as this case illustrates, is vulnerable to destruction, but it would cut the law loose from its financial fraud mooring to hold that it encompasses any and all objects, whatever their size or significance, destroyed with obstructive intent, unquote. Mm-hmm. Instead, Ginsburg wrote on behalf of herself and 3 other justices that the however you pronounce it, Sarbanes-Oxley Act targets only the destruction of tangible objects used to record or preserve information.
Oh, gee.
Ginsburg was joined in her opinion by Chief Justice John Roberts and Justices Stephen Breyer and Sonia Sotomayor. Justice Samuel Alito wrote a concurring opinion noting the case can and should be resolved on narrow grounds. In announcing her opinion from the bench, Ginsburg used more colorful language, saying, fish one may fry, she said, but may one falsify or make false entry in the sea-dwelling creatures? What?
She's a judge.
Fish
what
one may
say?
fry, but may one falsify or make a false entry in the sea-dwelling, whatever.
She's an attorney, so they do that.
Alito added, when one hears the term tangible object, a fish does not spring to mind, nor does an antelope, a colonial farmhouse, or a hydrofoil.
Oh, boy, that's pretty extreme. From fish to hydrofoil to colonial
Justice
farmhouse.
Alina Kagan wrote the dissenting opinion for herself and 3 other justices, Anthony Kennedy, Antonin Scalia, and Clarence Thomas. She wrote the real issue in the case was the law is too harsh. It is, she wrote, quote, too broad and undifferentiated with too high maximum penalties, which give prosecutors too much leverage and sentencers too much discretion.
Gee.
Yates said he was thinking about hiring an attorney to see if he can recover any lost wages now that it's been overturned. Mm-hmm. Even though he says his fishing days are over. Isn't that some story?
It is. It's some story.
Amazing story. Let's take a quick phone call, and then we'll take a break. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning. This is Dennis. I've caught a lot of fish in my day and measured them, put them in the ice, take them back out of the ice after they've been in about an hour, and they just shrunk about a half an inch.
My.
That's very true. And if any of them fish were borderline and on ice at the time, and then measured in such a state of coldness, they would be small. And then you could probably put them right back into warm water, and they'd measure legal. But that might be the 3 that he figured was legal, and I don't know. But anyway,
it does affect them a
lot. That's why we used to just stomp on them.
You stomped on them.
Try to make them long again.
Stretch those babies out. Get that come along.
Oh, I never knew that. But still, I mean, thank you. I appreciate that, Dennis.
Wow.
I just think that in the original case, he shouldn't have even been found guilty in that case. Maybe guilty of having the wrong size fish. Okay, he had 69 of them.
Yeah.
But guilty of disposing of evidence? That was crazy. He didn't. He had 69 pieces of evidence they could have used.
Right, exactly.
Doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely nuts.
It's a great story, though. I mean, it's a good talking point for sure. But it just doesn't it just once again show you that sometimes these people who we hire through our tax dollars to deal with our legal issues just sometimes don't have a clue.
Oh, sure.
Doesn't it just once again illustrate that common sense just goes out the door so often?
Exactly.
I mean, isn't that a common sense issue?
Sure it is.
I mean, doesn't it just drive you nuts?
It does.
All right, we'll take a little break. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. It'll be mostly cloudy today with a couple of showers, even a thunderstorm around it this morning. Highs will range from the mid and upper 60s in the northwest part of the zone to 74 along the coast. Mostly cloudy skies tonight with a couple of lingering showers along the coast. Lows ranging from 45 in the northwest part of the zone to the mid-50s along the coast. For tomorrow, variable cloudiness and breezy with a passing shower, highs in the mid and upper 60s. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Join us on Saturday, March 7, 2015 for the second annual Habitat Strawberries Festival at the McPherson Government Complex. The goal of this festival is not only to provide a great time for families in Ocala, but to also raise funds to build a home for our family and our community and support Habitat for Humanity's mission to strengthen communities, build hope, and provide dignified housing solutions. Remember, Saturday, March 7, 2015 for the second annual Habitat Strawberries Festival at the McPherson Government Complex, which starts at 7 a.m. with breakfast.
Guy Harvey Checking is now exclusively available at Gateway Bank. With Guy Harvey Checking, you will receive Gateway's premium checking account, plus several other Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation features, including membership to the Guy Harvey Hammerhead Nation, free Guy Harvey t-shirt, and an exclusive Guy Harvey debit card. At Gateway Bank, we will make a $50 donation to the Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation for every new account opened. This is just one more reason why people choose Gateway Bank. Sign up today for your exclusive Guy Harvey checking account with Gateway. Details available at gatewaybankcfl.com, member FDIC.
Hi, Danny Werfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
Real estate is the largest and most personal investment that any of us will ever make. Be sure to tune in Tuesdays at 10 a.m. when Bob Kennedy, owner of Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty, will be answering your questions and discussing real estate. So remember, that's Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Call 622-9622 with your questions. It pays to be an informed buyer or seller. This is news you can use from Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty and your friends here at WOCA.
WOCA,
Your source for the #1 sports weekends. Fox Sports, only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM.
All right, 8 minutes now before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Got a good show ahead of us, and the guest that did not call in right now hopefully will call in eventually, and it wouldn't make sense to talk to her now. So sorry. So one of the astronauts was in space doing a spacewalk yesterday for 6.5 hours, and he discovered water in his helmet.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, the leak was scary.
Oh. Yeah.
Because I guess it was a near drowning incident outside of an orbiting complex of the space station.
Yes.
2 years ago. Wow.
Oh my gosh, I don't recall that one.
This time the amount of water was relatively small, just a big blob of water floating inside Terry Virt's helmet. In the summer of 2013, another spacewalking astronaut's helmet actually flooded. He barely made it back inside.
Oh my gosh. Oh, how horrible.
Wow. How did I not hear that story?
Yeah, me too. They must have kept it under wraps.
This was the second spacewalk in 5 days for NASA astronauts Virts and Butch Wilmore, who encountered no trouble while routing cables for future American crew capsules due to arrive in a couple of years. 3 spacewalks had been planned, with the next one on Sunday, but its status was uncertain given yesterday's mishap with the water. Managers will meet tomorrow to discuss the situation.
Oh my gosh, I wonder how that could have happened.
Let's see, yesterday's spacewalk had just ended and the 2 astronauts were inside the airlock with the hatches closed when the incident occurred. The airlock was being repressurized when Virts first noticed the water. He said he reported it about a minute later.
Mm-hmm.
The absorbent pad inside the back of Virts's helmet was damp but not saturated, according to astronaut Samantha Cristoforetti, who is from Italy. One of the station's 6 crew members, the pad became standard procedure after the 2013 emergency.
Oh my gosh.
The water was cold to the touch with a chemical taste, most likely came from the suit's cooling system. The source of the leak in 2013, Mission Control described the amount of water as minor, at least compared to 2013.
Yeah, I mean, there shouldn't be any at all in there.
So, it's very rare that we hear the astronauts' names much anymore,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that's such a shame because we used to know them all and they were household words.
Yeah.
They certainly were.
So every once in a while, I'll look to see what is trending on the internet. What stories are getting a lot of attention? Well, the snow story happening is getting a lot of attention. It says another snowstorm is expected this weekend, believe it or not, coming up, right?
Yeah.
But here's one that I found touching. I kind of touched on it this morning. I got a little bit more time now to tell you about this story. I told you about the couple. They had been married for 67 years.
Yeah.
Let me tell you their names. Floyd Hartwig and Violet Hartwig. They died at a home in hospice beds that were pushed close together by their children so the married couple could hold hands in their final moments. And they did. Now, she had some kind of dementia. It doesn't say whether it was Alzheimer's or something else, but she had dementia. He did not. In fact, he was pretty healthy even last month. What happened last month in January, he was diagnosed with kidney failure. And doctors figured he had 2 weeks to live. 2 weeks. So he ended up in hospice as well, and in the bed next to his wife, Violet. Now, I don't know how aware she was being in the state of dementia.
Yes.
But he was aware. They held hands. She died first. And then 5 hours later, he died.
Gosh.
He served in the Pacific during World War II. In May of 1947, he wrote this to her. He said, "Hi, honey, just a few lines from this lonely blue sailor of yours. Miss you, darling, and so in love with you. Honey, I'll sure be glad when I get out of this. It sure isn't for me, though at one time I thought the Navy was pretty swell. That was before I fell in love with the sweetest girl in the world."
Oh, my gosh.
They said their vows on August 16th of 1947, while Floyd was on leave from the Navy. My parents were married August 17th?
17th,
17th.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Same year?
I think so, yeah.
Wow. Floyd's first job when he returned home from the war in 1948 was delivering eggs. He later worked as a foreman on a large Fresno County farm where he remained until he retired at the age of 65. Anyway, their children were on the news this morning. I was listening to their adult children, talking about.
What a touching story.
So I want to tell you, this is kind of connected to a story that we personally know. Back in around Thanksgiving or so, we played a nursing home. We played music at a nursing home, and there was a gentleman there who we've come to know because we've played there a lot, named well, maybe I shouldn't name his name.
Okay.
I won't say his name.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he told, and we always see him. He's always jovial, and he always loves the songs.
Mm-hmm.
And he would, and he it was, how you doing? He said, well, I'm going to die in a couple of weeks. I have kidney failure. Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. So when we went back at Christmas time,
And he was giving away all his stuff.
he was
then,
giving
so
away all
it
this.
was a done deal.
He was giving away record players and records, whatever he had, he was giving it away.
Yeah.
Even while we were there, we were only there for a half hour. No, we were there for an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, so we go on Christmas time and we don't see him. And so we assume he has since passed because, no, we had been there October. No, we didn't go there in November.
Right. We went there October.
Okay, so he had a couple of months. We figured he must have passed because he said he only had a couple of weeks. Now it was a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
And here he comes walking down the hall, hand in hand with this woman.
Yes.
And it just shows you that love really can keep you alive. This man had 7% of his kidneys working.
Yes.
7%.
Yes, exactly.
So last week we went back to this same facility. Was it last Friday?
Yeah, last Friday.
And guess who's still there? Him and her.
That's right.
Together, holding hands, and it looked like 2 grandchildren were with them. I don't know who the 2 little girls belonged to, him or her.
He was tickling her.
He was tickling her.
It was fun.
They were just laughing. They were singing along.
Yeah.
See, I just let you know, love keeps you alive.
It does. Conquers everything.
All right. In the end, hands down, love wins.
Yes, it does.
We'll take a little break. We'll be right back. This is WOCA Ocala.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio. I'm Chris Foster. Homeland Security funding expires tomorrow, and Republicans disagree on how to pay while still fighting the president's orders on immigration reform.
The Senate passed a bill that would fund the agency through September and avoid any kind of shutdown. But that proposal could face stiff Republican opposition in the House, where Speaker John Boehner has not been willing to say whether he would bring this same bill to a vote.
Fox News Radio's John Decker. It's now believed at least 220 Christians have been kidnapped by Islamic State terrorists in Syria.
The Britain-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights says ISIS has captured dozens more Christian Assyrians from some 11 communities near the town of Tal Tamar. The province borders Turkey and Iraq. The Islamic militants began taking the indigenous Christians on Monday, sending thousands running.
Fox News Radio's Jessica Gallagher. Jobless claims are up, consumer prices are down. Fox News, we report, you decide.
They say every healthy relationship should have a balance of predictability and spontaneity. In fact, it is that assurance of security that makes the spontaneous possible. Your relationship with your car should be a little like that too. With our industry-leading unlimited mileage warranty, your certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz instills a sense of confidence. You drive away knowing that you can keep driving for up to 3 years and never have to worry about the miles. Add to that our complimentary prepaid maintenance on select models, and your certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz becomes the ultimate carefree escape vehicle. Only during the Mercedes-Benz Certified Pre-Owned Sales event going on now through March 2nd can you receive your first 2 months payments on us on select models, plus 3 months of Sirius XM satellite radio. So hurry in today. It might just be the most predictable spur-of-the-moment decision you've ever made.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified pre-owned warranties.
Today in Florida Ag News, I'm a Southeast AgNet. The University of Florida IFAS has a new Associate Dean and State Program Leader for 4-H Youth Development, a key position for preparing our future ag leaders. Dr. Jack Payne, Senior Vice President for Agriculture and Natural Resources at UF, says they are very excited about this new hire.
His name is Mike Gutter, and he's already with us as an associate professor in one of our IFAS departments. It's Department of Family, Youth, and Community Sciences. And it's one of those departments that people that think they know about IFAS don't really know about this department, because most people think we're all about production, agriculture, and natural resources. That's a big part of who we are, but we also do a lot with youth through our 4-H program. We do a lot with families, making sure they know how to eat right, and we teach families, and we do community development, helping various communities get back after, say, tropical storms and hurricanes. Michael is a professor in that department, and he's had a very successful finance program that's been funded by Bank of America, trying to get families to learn how to budget well, to manage their finances.
Dr. Payne said they had a national search for this position, and he is pleased to have Getter as a part of the team.
Of course, part of that is our 4-H effort, and there's, as you know, when you read what the governor's saying about jobs and other folks, that we need more STEM courses, science, technology, engineering, and math, what we call STEM. So Mike is going to be heavily involved with that because he's now responsible for our youth program. A lot of good things hopefully will come out of that program, and I'm really looking forward to Mike being a major member of our team.
It's been documented that a quarter of our food ag professional workforce is 55 or older, as we're not producing enough STEM graduates to fill those jobs. Dr. Payne said you don't start in college, you start by connecting kids to where their food comes from, and that's where Mike Getter comes in. Randall Wiseman, Southeast AgNet.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Since selfies are often shot from below, the neck looks either fattier or saggier from that angle. So more people are seeking under the chin or double chin lipo, chin implants, and neck lifts to remove excess skin. Sleep on it. Trying to force a resolution when you're both exhausted can make things worse. So try tart cherry juice if you have any issues with joint pain or inflammation, and you just might sleep better too.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Do you have areas that have started sagging or drooping? Is what you're looking at not quite the same as it was years ago? Are there enhancements you've been putting off? Is there serious damage you need fixed? Then call on us, Damage Control Services, when your roof is sagging and the drywall is drooping after a storm, or your home just needs some enhancements. From damage repairs to new construction, Damage Control Services is here to help.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Ocala's